Death Note is an anime, and from that sentence alone I think you have a clear idea of what to expect from the show's quality. The story goes that a teenage genius called Light Yagami sees the world as rotten due to all the depressing news stories of murder and violence. A teenager going through depression? You can't be serious! Next thing you know, he'll want to have sex with people. This is until he finds a special notebook called the
Death Note? As in a notebook of death?
No! As in love of kittens. What the fuck do you think it means? The Death Note supposedly has the power to kill anyone in the world if their name is written down in the book, and after confirming the authenticity of the Death Note, Light starts to panic that he just killed 2 people. Or he does panic for about 12 seconds. Light seems to get over his problems faster than a deaf man at a Nickelback concert. Not only does he fully come to the terms with the fact that he's a murderer in the span of time it takes for most men to start jerking over a book, he also decides that he should start killing every criminal in the entire world. So, roughly how many people are in prison in the USA? What about China? And this genius is going to write all those names in a single notebook. You're a teenager! Drink vodka like normal people! And what are Light's incentive behind killing criminals?
I will become the god of this new world.
Oh, so that's his motivation. He's a dick! You couldn't be more self-centered if you crawled up your own asshole. In fact, Light talks more about being the world's greatest idol than he does actually making the planet a better place. Jesus man, I've been to churches with less god symbolism. And Light isn't even quiet about it. He shouts to high heaven about how he's going to be the next big deity. Don't you think his parents might get a little bit concerned?
I'm the one who will become the god of a new world that everyone desires. All those who would oppose that god, they are the ones who are truly evil.
Oh! Fuck off! Shortly after using the note, Light's antics have since become public and the internet has dubbed him as the masked murderer Kira. A detective nicknamed El gives out a message to the world saying what Kira is doing is evil, and Light, being the twat that he is, doesn't exactly take well to blasphemy. One big problem I have with the characters is that they aren't given a lot of character. Instead, they do the laziest of tropes and give them all weird quirks. El is awesome for the fact that how he analyzes and manipulates people, but just to make absolutely sure you don't forget who he is, he eats a lot of cake and sits weird. El claims to sit like that because it helps his brain think more efficiently, but be honest with yourself, a man eating that much fatty food is sitting like that because he hasn't taken a proper shit in 3 months. We also have a character who plays with toys all the time and another who eats chocolate in every piece of viewing space he's given. And I'm not exaggerating. Every single scene. Seriously, between all the narcissism and eating junk food, you could have replaced all these characters with 6-year-olds and I wouldn't have noticed. And if you want wasted potential, what about Ryuk? He's a Shinigami who was the previous owner of Light's Death Note, forced to follow Light around until he dies. A literal god of death who could oversee the world and kill anyone he so wanted to, and what's his character trait? Apples. I cannot express how angry I am that they made a demon look like that and didn't even try to make him scary. Heck, I would rather see this guy giving me a blowjob than having him waste his screen time on fruit. I've already gone over how El is one of the best characters for how meticulous he is, but the problem with being meticulous is that it comes hand in hand with exposition. And holy hell, is there a lot of exposition. Characters speak so much shit you could construct a pipe from their mouth to the Mississippi River and be able to spread cholera to Vietnam. Where El can say a lot of information and make it sound slightly interesting, Light just spews out the most boring things imaginable. He talks for roughly a minute and a half about how he hides his Death Note in a false bottom drawer and continues about how it's rigged so no one will find it. Is this information important? No! It never comes up again! I know most teenagers are self-proclaimed experts at hiding stuff you don't want your family to find, but I think you're taking the piss. You know, for someone who up until this point made incredibly quick and contrary decisions, you think he might skip the tiny details for a minute. Not to mention, Light thinks way too hard about everything. I swear his inner monologue gets its own voice actor credit. On top of that, so much of the exposition gets repeated, at least once from Light and at least once from El. The show even stops itself to have you read more exposition, and again, it's exposition we already been told about. Please, just give me something new!
So now you're calling me stupid? Fine then.
No, I take it back. Please, I promise. I'll listen from now on. Oh, Misa. Misa a bloody Mane. You know what this incredibly serious and dark anime needed? A goth chick who wants Senpai to notice her. And how does she get the attention of Light? Well, as it happens, she, coincidentally, has a Death Note all to herself and uses it to pose as Kira in front of the entire world. Please, can you help me? I'm looking for my dog. I've been calling his name for 20 minutes. I just can't find him anywhere. Okay, what's his name? Yes, his name's Bullshit? In the first episode, they say how most people are reluctant to use the Death Note once they know what it does, but somehow you manage to find two people at the same time, within traveling distance, that are both using the Death Note for selfishness. Not to mention, Misa has the same problem as Light where she can't keep quiet!
I already told you, I don't care even if all you do is use me.
At least wear a condom. Although mercifully a new character can at least give us different exposition, they make a big deal about how a Shinigami can't be killed and go to effort to show it. What's more,
I learned the only way to kill a Shinigami is to make them fall in love with a human.
oh, fuck off!